Hello everybody. Now let us start the class. And today I will tell you about scalar point function and vector point function first of all. And what is the scalar point function and what is vector point function? First of all, it is a function. And if the function is expressed in terms of simply xyz and in terms of scalar quantities, that means ijk will be absent, then that function is called scalar point function. And if ijk will be present, I cap, j cap, k cap, then it is called a vector point function. For example, if 2x into I cap plus 5y into j cap plus 7 into k cap, then here this is expressed in terms of a vector quantity. So this can be written as a vector of x, y, z, and it is called a vector point function. And if I will write like this, xy plus x square y plus xyz, there is no I cap, j cap, k cap. So this function can be written as simply phi of xyz, and it is called a scalar point function. Both are a function of xyz. It is a function of xyz. This is also a function of xyz. But here xyz, function of xyz, is expressed in terms of ijk. That means in terms of a vector quantity. So the function is called a vector point function. That means every point should be expressed in terms of ijk. Clear? So like this here. If P is a point whose coordinates are x, y, z, then if you want to write the position vector of the point P with respect to origin O, then it can be written as r vector into x into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. Clear? So this will become a vector point function because this xyz is expressed in terms of a vector quantity. That means if the I cap, j cap, k cap are present, or simply I cap, j cap, or simply I cap, then the corresponding function is called vector point function. And here, since there is no I cap, j cap, k cap, that means it is purely a scalar quantity. So the corresponding function is called a scalar point function. And the domain in which the scalar point function is defined, that is called scalar field. And in this case, the domain in which the function is defined, vector point function, and that field is called vector field. Clear? Now see here, what is the meaning of level surface? Level surface. Level surface. That means f of xyz is equal to c. This is a surface, and for different values of c, you will get different surfaces. That means this is a family of surfaces. If you put c is equal to 1, you will get another surface. If you get c is equal to 2, 3, 4, root 2, root 3, root 5, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, you will get different surfaces. That means you will get a family of surfaces. And these family of surfaces is called level surfaces. Clear? See here, the directional derivative. What is the meaning of directional derivative? Derivative in a particular direction. And what is the meaning of derivative? Rate of change. Rate of change in a particular direction. Clear? Directional derivative means, first of all, directional derivative means rate of change of anything. Clear? And in a particular direction, you should express. So it is named as directional derivative. So directional derivative is scalar point function, directional derivative is a vector point function. Here phi of r vector is a scalar point function. Clear? And you want to find out the directional derivative of phi of r vector at a point r0 vector, and it is defined as like this. In a particular direction, limit r vector tends to r0 vector, phi of r vector minus phi of r0 vector divided by r minus r0. R vector minus r0. This is the definition of derivative, because derivative of f of x at x is equal to c is limit f of x minus f of c divided by x minus c, and here x tends to c. This is the definition of derivative at a particular point x is equal to c. So limit x tends to c, f of x minus f of c divided by x minus c. See, this is same as this one. Limit r tends to r0, phi upon minus phi upon 0 divided by r minus r 0. And this is expressed in terms of a particular direction. So it is a derivative along a straight line in the given direction. So this is called the directional derivative. Derivative in a particular direction. And here, the second part, how to find out the directional derivative of a vector point function. And if a vector is a vector point function, and you want to find out the directional derivative of this point, this vector point function at a point A along a vector. It is defined as, and the direction cosines of a vector is L M M, then L into del A by del X plus M into del A by del Y plus M into del A by del Z. And L are the direction cosines. Because direction cosines means it represents the direction. Here, so L into del A by del X plus M into del A by del Y, L into del A by del X, this is the directional derivative of the vector point function along a vector whose direction cosines are L and N. And this is the directional derivative of a scalar point function. Clear? So these two are the definitions of directional derivative of a scalar point function and vector point function. See here, the most important part now starts. Now we will start the very important part. Here the operator del. And the operator del, it is denoted as like this. You can write like this, or you can put a vector sign also. And this is called the vector differential operator. Vector differential operator. And this is equivalent to, see here, I into del by del X plus J into del by del Y plus K cap into del by del Z. And this is read as del or nabla. You can read it as del or nabla. And since it is a derivative, so it is a derivative, so you can write it as differential operator. And this is a vector quantity, so it is known as vector differential operator. Okay, now simply remember the meaning of del is I del by del X plus J del by del Y plus K del by del Z. And we have to operate del on scalar point function or in vector point function. Clear? See here, the first part starts from the gradient. What is the gradient? Gradient means rate of change. And you can find out the gradient only of a scalar point function, not of a vector point function. And the gradient of a vector point function phi is written as like this, del phi, or you can read it as grad phi. Gradient of here phi is a scalar point function. If phi is a scalar point function, then the gradient of phi is denoted as grad phi. You can write like this, or you can write like this. Okay, and what is the meaning of this one? See here, grad phi means I del by del X plus J del by del Y plus K del by del Z of phi. So it is equal to I, simply operate del phi by del X plus J del phi by del Y plus K del phi by del Z. And this can be written as summation I del phi by del X. You can write like this. That means while taking I cap, you are writing with respect to X. And if you take J cap, it will be Y. If you take K cap, it will be Z. So this line can be written like this. Here, see here, since ijk are present, so grad phi defines a vector function or vector field. Grad phi defines a vector field. Here, due to presence of I cap, J cap, K cap, grad phi is a vector quantity and is called vector field. See here, very important point, the component. For example, see here, this is a force F, and if this angle is theta, then what will be this component? F cos theta. You can write this as F cos theta. Here, similarly, the component of grad phi along a cap is equal to grad phi dot a cap. Because what is the definition of A dot B? A mod into B mod into cos theta. So grad phi mod into A cap mod into cos theta. And what is A cap mod? 1. So grad phi cos theta. Clear? So the component of grad phi along A cap is equal to grad phi dot A cap. Now if A vector is equal to I into N plus J into M plus K into N. A cap. It is A cap. So, how to write this one? How I have written this one? See here, if A vector A cap is equal to X into I cap plus Y into J cap plus Z into K cap, then A vector mod is equal to, it is X square plus Y square plus Z square root over, and A cap is equal to A vector by A vector mod, this is equal to X by X square plus Y square plus Z square root over into I cap plus Y by X square plus Y square plus Z square root over into J cap plus Z by X square plus Y square plus Z square K cap root over into K cap. And this one is direction cosines, which is L into I cap, this one M into J cap plus N into K cap. These are the BCS, these three. Here X, Y, Z are the DRS. X, Y, Z are the direction ratios of A vector. And this is the magnitude. And if you divide the magnitude with X, Y, Z, this will become direction cosines. So I have written this one, N into I cap plus M into J cap plus N into K cap. Clear? So if A cap is equal to this one, then what is the value of this one? See here. What is? Grad phi dot A cap. Grad phi is I. Del phi by del x plus j. Del phi by del y plus k. Del phi by del j. Dot. What is A cap? L into I cap plus M into J cap plus N into K cap. So find the dot product. So L into del phi by del x plus N into del phi by del y plus N into del phi by del z. So this is the direction derivative. That means del phi dot A cap is the directional derivative along A vector. Okay, so if you want to find out the directional derivative of a function in a particular direction, so you can find out, you can use the formula del phi dot A cap. Clear? And now what is the maximum value of this one? What is the maximum value of A dot B? A mod into B mod into cos theta. A dot B is A mod into B mod into cos theta. And the value of cos is 1, cos theta. Maximum value of cos theta is 1. So A dot B, the maximum value of A dot B is A mod into B mod. So what is the maximum value of this one? Grad phi mod into A cap mod. And A cap mod is 1. So grad phi mod. So the maximum value or the greatest value of the directional derivative is mod of grad phi, and the directional derivative is rate of change. So in the question will be like this: find the greatest rate of change of phi along this direction. Find the greatest rate of change of phi along a particular direction. So you should know that directional derivative, the other name of directional derivative is rate of change. So greatest rate of change is maximum value of the directional derivative, which is mod of grad phi. Clear? So let us take an example. So I am giving an example how to find out the gradient of a function phi at a particular point. See here, what is the definition of grad phi? I del phi by del x plus j del phi by del y plus k del phi by del z. So it is an I. What is del phi by del x? Derivative phi with respect to x, it is 2y plus it will be 8xz plus z with respect to y. Tell me, with respect to y it is 2x and this one is 0. And now with respect to z, this becomes 0 and this is 4x square. Put the values. In place of x put 1, in place of y put 1, in place of z it is 0. So 1 1 0, it is 1, it is 0. This part vanishes, it is 1. So 2 into I cap. It is 1, 2 1 z 2. So 2 into j cap. So here also 1, so 4 into k cap. R 1 1 0. You should write like this. R 1 1 0. Clear? So this is the gradient of phi at the particular point 1 1 0. See here. Find the directional derivative of f is equal to xy plus yz plus zx along I plus 2j plus k cap at 1 2 0. So here f is equal to this one. So grad f. First of all, you have to find out the value of grad f. I del f by del x plus j del f by del y plus k del f by del z. So I cap find the derivative of f with respect to x. It is y plus z. Y plus z plus z cap with respect to y. It is x plus z. K with respect to z is y plus x. So put the values 1 2 0. Z is equal to 0, y is equal to 2. So 2 into I cap. Z is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. So simply j cap. X plus y, that means 1 plus 2. It is 3 k cap. Clear? So this is the value of grad f. And here, this is a vector. Here, a vector is equal to I plus 2j plus k cap. But what is your formula? Grad phi dot a cap, not a vector. It is a cap. So you have to find out a cap. So a vector mod is equal to 1 square plus 2 square is 4 plus 1 square root over 4 5 6 root over of 6. So therefore a cap is equal to, it is a vector by a vector mod 1 by root 6 into I plus 2j plus k cap. Because the formula for a vector is a cap is a vector by a vector mod. So this one by root 6. Clear? So this is your a cap. Now the required directional derivative. Required directional derivative is grad phi dot a cap. So what is grad phi? Grad phi is this one. 2I cap plus j cap plus 3 into k cap dot a cap. It is 1 by root 6 into I plus 2j plus k. So it is equal to 1 by root 6. It is a constant. Goes outside. Now 2 into 1 is 2. Then 1 into 2 is 2. Then 3 into 1 is 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 by root 6. See here. Now the property of gradient. First property is if phi and sine are two scalar point function, then grad of phi plus minus sine, the grad phi plus minus grad sine. So you have to prove this one. So see here, the proof is very very easy, and how to do it? Grad of phi plus minus sine. And what is your definition? What is the definition of grad phi? I have told you, grad phi is summation I del phi by del x. That means del by del x of phi. That means grad of meaning of grad is this one, and phi is there, so I have written phi. So here how to write it? Summation I del by del x. This is the meaning of grad of the function is phi plus minus sine. So simply I apply the derivative del phi by del x plus minus del psi by del x. So then separate it. I del phi by del x plus minus I del psi by del x. And what is this? I have told you this one is grad phi. So this part is grad phi. So plus minus this one is grad psi. So this is your proof. See the second property. If phi and psi are two scalar point functions, then grad of phi into psi is your grad phi into psi plus phi into grad psi. So see the proof. This also very easy proof. Grad of phi into psi is equal to summation I del by del x. This is the definition of grad. Then you should operate with to phi into psi. So apply the derivative of product rule here. Del phi by del x into psi plus phi into del psi by del x. I have told you, you should maintain the order. So summation. And always remember, within the summation, you should keep ijk and xyz term. And other terms are constant. Clear? So here I del phi by del x into psi plus summation I into phi into del psi by del x. Here psi is a constant in this case. So summation I del phi by del x whole into psi plus phi take over to the left hand side summation I del psi by del x. Clear? So this one is grad phi into psi plus phi into grad psi. So this is your proof. Clear? See here. This is the third property. Phi and psi are two scalar point functions. Grad of phi by psi is equal to psi into grad phi minus phi into grad psi divided by psi square. So the proof. Grad of phi by psi. This is the quotient rule. That means simply gradient simply replace the derivative. Here. So it is equal to summation I del by del x. And it is phi by psi. Summation I. So find the derivative and apply the u by v property. Psi into del phi by del x minus phi into del psi by del x divided by psi square. Clear? And psi square is a constant, so take it outside. 1 by psi square. Your summation I into psi into del phi by del x minus summation I into phi into del psi by del x. So in this case, psi will go to outside and in this case phi will go to outside. So what will be the final answer? 1 by psi square. This is psi into summation I into del phi by del x minus phi into summation I del psi by del x. You will 1 by psi square. This is grad phi. So psi into grad phi minus phi into this is grad psi. So this is your answer. Psi into grad phi minus phi into grad psi divided by psi square. So this is your proof. See this one. Grad of c into phi is equal to c into grad phi. What is c? C is any constant. So see here. Grad of c into phi. You can write it as summation I del by del x of c into phi. So while taking the derivative, c is a constant, so you can take c to outside. Summation I into del phi by del x. And this quantity is the gradient of phi. So c into grad phi. So this is your proof. Clear? See here. Now we want to find out the equation of tangent plane and normal line. The equation of tangent plane to the surface phi of xyz is equal to c. I have written c here. Phi of xyz is equal to c. Not is equal to 0. Clear? At the point x0, y0, z0 is, the formula is r minus r0, r vector minus r0 vector dot grad phi is equal to 0. What is r0 vector? R0 vector is x0 into i cap plus y0 into j cap plus z0 into k cap. And what is r vector? It is xi plus yj plus zk. X into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. It is the position vector of any point x, y, z. And the equation of normal line is simply In place of dot, I have written cross. So since it is a cross product, so I have written 0 vector. It is a dot product, so I have written 0. Since it is a cross product, so I have written 0 vector. Clear? And see here, you want to find out the tangent plane normal line to the surface, this one. Here phi of xyz is this one. Don't take -1 to left hand side, because my format is phi of xyz is equal to c. So here c is 1. So here, if you take a 1 to left hand side, no change. Everything will remain same. It will not vary. Phi of x, y, z is equal to x into z square plus x square y minus z. So what is grad phi? For both the cases you want grad phi. Okay, you want to find out grad phi at this point first of all. So grad phi is equal to I into del phi by del x plus j into del phi by del y plus k into del phi by del z is equal to, so I cap into, what is del phi by del x? With respect to x, so z square plus 2xy plus j cap, and with respect to y, this one is 0 and this part, this one is x square, and plus k cap, and with respect to z, 2xz minus 1. So put the values, it is 1 minus 3, 2. So 2 square is 4 and 2xy, x into y, minus 3 into 2. So I cap, see here, 2 square is 4 and 2 into 1 into minus 3, it is minus 6. Plus x square, that means 1 square is 1, simply j cap, and this one 2xz, x into z. So 2 into 2 is 4. So 4 minus 1. It will be minus 2 into I cap plus j cap. Sorry. J cap plus k cap into 4 minus 1. So this is minus 2 into I cap plus j cap. So this one is 4 minus 1 is 3. So 3 into k cap. So this is your graph phi. Now, what is R0 vector? Here R0 vector is 1 into I cap minus 3 into j cap plus 2 into k cap. So therefore, equation of tangent plane is R minus R0 dot grad phi is equal to 0. That means R minus R0. What is R? xi plus yj plus zk. And R0 vector is this one. That means x minus 1 into I cap. X minus 1 into I cap. That means again y minus 3. Y minus or minus 3. Y plus 3 into j cap. And z minus 2 into k cap. Dot grad phi. Your grad phi is this one. Minus 2 into I cap plus j cap plus 3 into k cap is equal to 0. So it implies minus 2 into x minus 1 minus 2 into x minus 1 plus 1 into y plus 3 plus 3 into z minus 2 equal to 0. Now you can solve it. After multiplying, you will get the answer. Now, you have to find out the equation of normal line. So, how to find out the equation of normal line? See here, from this one I am doing here the equation of normal line is, write it as dot product, and this one is 0 vector. So, this will become 0 cross product, this one is 0 vector. Dot product of two vectors is 0 vector. That means they are parallel to each other. And if two vectors are parallel to each other, what is your format? X minus 1 by minus 2 is equal to y plus 3 by 1 is equal to z minus 2 by 3. The format is if a1 I cap plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap and b1 I cap plus b2 j cap plus b3 k cap are parallel to each other, then a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2 is equal to a3 by b3. And same format I have applied. This cross this is equal to 0 vector. That means these two vectors are parallel to each other. So a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2 is equal to a3 by b3. I have written this one. And this is the equation of the normal line at the point 1 minus 3 2. Clear? The question is that what is the direction of grad phi? Grad phi is a vector quantity. And what is the direction of grad phi? So grad phi, if this is phi of xyz is equal to c, and this is the point, that is x0, y0, z0. This is the tangent, and direction of grad phi is along the outward drawn normal. The direction of grad phi is along the outward drawn normal. Clear? And if you have to find out the unit normal vector, simply if you want to find out the normal vector, then it is grad phi. And if you want to find out the unit normal vector, that means n cap. What is n cap? That means in the form of a cap. It is a vector by a vector mod. And here grad phi is a normal. So unit vector along grad phi. It is grad phi by grad phi mod. Clear? And I have told you how to find out grad phi, and you can find out the magnitude of grad phi. So if your question will be find the unit normal vector to the function this one at this point. So simply find grad phi, then put the format. Find its modulus, then divide grad phi by grad phi mod, which is the required unit normal vector. Clear? And if you want to find out the maximum value of the scalar point function phi at a particular point, then find grad phi at the particular point, then take its magnitude. It is the maximum value of directional derivative. Clear? And if you want to find out, that means grad phi is along the normal. If you want to find out, see here, the angle between two surfaces. This is phi of xyz is equal to c1. This is psi of xyz is equal to c2. So here the point of intersection is this one, and you want to find out the angle between the two curves at the point of intersection. Here, so your point of intersection will be given. Let it be x0, y0, z0. And angle between two curves means angle between the tangents or angle between the normals. Angle between two curves means angle between the tangents or angle between the normals. And already I have told you the normal is along grad phi. The normal to this curve at this point is along grad phi, and the normal to this curve at this point is along grad psi. So angle between two curves means angle between grad phi and grad psi, and both are vector quantities. And how to find out the angle between two vector quantities? It is the formula for theta. So if theta is the angle between these two, then theta is equal to cos inverse grad phi dot grad psi divided by grad phi mod into grad psi mod. So this is the formula. That means angle between two vectors. In the first video I have told you, a dot b is equal to a vector dot b vector is equal to a vector mod into b vector mod into cos theta. So what is cos theta? A dot b by a mod into b mod. A vector mod into b vector mod. So theta is equal to cos inverse a vector dot b vector divided by a vector mod into b vector mod. So this is the required formula. So, and already I have told you how to find out grad phi and grad psi at a particular point. So you can find out grad phi and grad psi, and you can find out the dot product also, and you can find out the magnitude also. So simply put the formula so that you can get the angle between the two curves. Clear? See here, this point is very important, and you have to apply this formula. In maximum cases, it will be almost all problems you have to apply this formula. Grad of r to the power n. And what is r vector? See here, what is r vector? X into I cap plus y into j cap plus z into k cap. Clear? And what is r? That means r vector mod. It is x square plus y square plus z square square root of this one. Clear? So grad of r to the power n, that means Grad means summation I del by del x. I have told you. This is the formula for grad and r to the power n. R is this one. That means it is x square plus y square plus z square to the power 1 by 2. Clear? And if it is r to the power n, it will be n by 2. So that means x square plus y square plus z square to the power n by 2. Simply apply the derivative summation I care. It is n by 2 into x square plus y square plus z square to the power n by 2 minus 1 into derivative of this one n into u to the power n minus 1 into du by dx, and the derivative of this one is 2x. So here 2 to cancel out. Summation I cap n into this part. This is x square plus y square plus z square to the power n minus 2 by 2. And this I can write I cap into n, and this one you can write clearly. I am telling you. You can write 1 by 2 whole to the power n minus 2. X is there. Sorry. So x is there. Summation I cap n into, and this one to the power half, it is r. This one to the power half, it is r to the power n minus 2 into x. And I have told you within summation you should write only ijk, I cap, j cap, k cap, and the torque involved me x, y, z. So n into r to the power n minus 1 is a constant, so take it outside. So it is summation x into I cap. And this one is equal to n into r to the power n minus 2. If you expand this one, it will become x into I cap plus y into j cap. It will expand the summation. So z into k cap. So this is n into r to the power n minus 2 into r vector. Here, n into r to the power n minus 2 into r vector. This is the formula for grad of r to the power n. And if I write like this, because r vector is r vector mod into r cap. So if you write this one in place of r vector, it will get n into r to the power n minus 2 into r cap. So these two combine will combine, which will give n minus 1 into r cap. See here, what is the difference? If you write r vector, then it is r to the n minus 2. If you write r cap, it will be r to the n minus 1. That is the difference between the two cases. Okay. See here. This is the question of previous video. I have given in the assignment, and some students asked me in the comment box to solve this one. See here, dA by dt is equal to r plus n, dB by dt is equal to r plus b. So you have to prove this one. So write the LHS, which is d by dt of a cross b is equal to dA by dt cross dB by dt. So what is dA by dt? It is r cross a cross, and dB by dt is r cross b. Clear? And your formula is a cross b cross c. What is your formula? A dot c into b minus a dot b into c. Already I have told you in the first video. So take it as single vector. A, in place of A, I am writing r cross a. BC. Clear? So apply this dot b, r cross a dot b into r vector minus r cross a dot r into b. So I have told you, it is scalar triple product. If two vectors are equal, then the value is equal to 0. And what is the scalar triple product? In which one dot and one cross are present. So here one dot and one cross are present. So this is scalar triple product, and two vectors are equal. So this quantity becomes 0. So it becomes r cross a dot b into r vector. Here. Sorry. I have written this one. See here. This is not the formula. Here, apply the cross product. dA by dt cross B plus A cross dB by dt. So this is the formula. Derivative cross product. dA by dt cross B plus A cross dB by dt. So what is dA by dt? R cross A cross B plus A cross dB by dt is R cross B. Clear? So apply the vector triple dot R dot B into A minus A dot B into R plus A dot B into R minus A dot R into B. So these two can be cancelled out. So remain R dot B into A vector minus A dot R into B vector, and which is same on the right hand side, R cross A cross B. See here, because R dot B into A minus R dot A into B, R dot A, and dot product is commutative, so you can write A dot R also. Clear? See here, this one is the number 2 question of our previous video. First of all, find out the first derivative. Then you should find out the second derivative. Clear? So dr by dt dot dr by dt cross d square r by dt square plus r dot derivative between 1, it is d square r by dt square cross d square r by dt square plus derivative third one cross dqr by dt cube. Here, so this is scalar triple, this is also scalar, this is also scalar triple product. Here the two vectors are same, so this quantity becomes 0. Here the two vectors are same, so this quantity becomes 0. Only this quantity remains. R dot dr by dt cross dqr by dt cube. Therefore, d square by dt square of r dot dr by dt cross d square r by dt square is equal. I am taking the derivative this one, so that means you have to take the derivative this quantity. So d by dt of r dot, so dr by dt cross dqr by dt cube. Now you can find out in the similar process. That will be 3 terms. Okay, and finally you get the answer. Okay, see here, I have completed your gradient. So I will say upload the complete material on gradient and also some questions. So please download everything, the complete material and the questions, and do the questions. Okay, in the next class I will teach you about the divergence. Okay, thank you.